Comparing Sicon MRP results compared to Sage Legacy Manufacturing MRP results. So we're just going to start off in the sales order list. I've created a sales order and we can see it's for a built item for a quantity of 25. Currently there's nothing allocated and the date promised on the line is the 31st of the 7th. So let's go and run Sage Legacy MRP. So initially you need to run MPS, the master production schedule. So let's go to the MPS list and read demand. We're reading up to a certain date. Select OK. And then the second level to that is MRP. So we can go into MRP recommendations list and run MRP. Certain things you can't get into while you're running MRP. This part can be automated through the legacy version, but MPS can't be automated, so it's still a half automated routine. Within Sicon we can fully automate the MRP run. So that's completed. And if I just refresh my list, so here we can see for the sales order we can see a quantity required, we can see a quantity of 23 is required. We can also see below that different levels, so the sub-assembly levels are required below that. And within this list somewhere we would also have buy recommendations. Let's go and do the equivalent in Sicon. So Sicon material and resource planning, material planning, and then we can go and open up material planning. If we've already ran MRP we can just go directly into the MRP results or previous MRP results, or we can click down here to show previous results. I'm just going to go through and run MRP. We have got user-based settings, so one user may run MRP slightly different to another user, and we can automate this to run overnight. Sicon MRP takes a lot less time than Sage MRP to run, so you may not need to get it automated overnight, and I can still enter sales orders, I can amend stock items. There's no restrictions in the system while I'm running MRP other than other users cannot be within the material planning screen. But here let's just go into suggested works orders, and here we can see, so in the line reason on the right hand side I can see my sales order. Again we've got a quantity there for 23. It's giving me the due date on that order based on a delivery buffer. So here we've got a 3-day delivery buffer to the customer, and then it's also going to take 6 or 7 days to manufacture, plus then it's taken into account the weekends. So the start date on that works order is the 17th. Let's double click somewhere over here. So as long as you're double clicking in a non-amendable field, it will bring up this future stock movement screen. So here we can see basically the running balance, or in Sage it's known as the projection. So we can see a current stock level. It's taking into account any existing Sage works orders. So on the 4th it's telling me that a Sage works order build, and there's my Sage works order number. It's accounting for that replenishment of a quantity of 2. That's why it's suggesting that we need to manufacture 23, which will bring our balance to 25 because we've got a sales order due out on that date, plus the buffer days is included there. And we can also see the customer from there. Another nice thing is we can double click on the suggestion or the reason, the demand, and it's going to open up the sales order, and then we can go and view the sales order from there. Some other nice links in here is we can go into amend the stock item. So on the right hand side here we can see things like reorder level, minimum, maximum levels, suppliers if that was relevant. And then we can just go and amend the stock item directly within the MRP screen. We'd need to rerun MRP for the changes to take effect. So if I had things like reorder levels or minimum maximum levels depending on my replenishment options, we could then rerun MRP and it would take into account those reorder levels, minimum and maximums. Also within the Sicon MRP tab we can amend settings against the MRP and against the works order side. So minimum batch sizes, maximum batch sizes, production units of measure, etc. Let's close off there, and let's close off the future projection. On this screen as well we can see the line reason there. So for works order 0032, which is a Sage works order, so Sage Legacy Manufacturing. So if I go into the works order module, so the Sage 200 works order module, if I just have a look at works order 32, so we can see there works order 32, we require stock of that item to be manufactured. From here I can just go and create my works order. If any sub-assemblies were required, there'll be a little plus by the icon there, and then it would generate me the sub-assembly works orders also. Let's go and create works order, select create, and that's going to create my works order for me. I can see the works order number there, works order 15. In fact, my settings are marked to say if there is enough stock of the sub-assembly, allocate from free stock. If not, generate me a works order for the sub-assembly. So here you might see a /1, and then that's creating a sub-assembly of that works order. Just adding my operations. And again, while all of this is happening, you can still do anything in the background, so you can just click on to generate all of your works orders and then go and start processing. So it's created my works order, so works order 15, select OK, and you can see that's disappeared from the list. If you reran MRP, it wouldn't be there because we've already created that replenishment to the demand. Let's go and have a look at our suggested purchase orders. So on the far right hand column we can see reason. We can just drag and drop that over wherever we like. So we can see here we've got demand coming from works order 33, so that's a Sage works order. And then we've also got demand coming from our Sicon works orders as well. So when we migrate across from Sage Manufacturing to Sicon Manufacturing, running an MRP is going to see all of the demands, and it's going to see all of the replenishments as well from both modules. You can also see their grouping, so here it's grouped a suggested works order, so something that it's suggesting here. So if I go to suggested works orders, so we can see this is a suggested works order. If I go back to here, we can see for suggested works order number 1, also for a Sage Manufacturing works order, we can see there's demand coming through here. On the right hand side we can see suppliers, and we can see unit price. Quite a nice thing here as well is usage of month to date, year to date and the last 12 months. If we just click on load usages, it will then calculate that for us. It doesn't load that up straight away just because it's extra time that it could take to calculate those, but you saw there it didn't take too long. But this list could be a lot larger than it is at the moment. At the top here we have got filters, so I could filter by different analysis codes within the modules, but I just want to filter based on supplier. I can change that supplier from here if I wish. I can also change the price. Let's just go and select a supplier, click on filter. So now it's showing me everything that I need from that supplier. We can see the warehouse it's going to create the suggestion for. I'm going to say that I want all of that stock within a certain warehouse. I might also change the quantity there. Really it's going to be using the minimum purchase quantity and the usual order quantity to then decide how much we need to purchase, but that can be amended here. Let's go and select all, and let's go and create purchase orders. Again, we can still change the quantities if we wish. Let's just go and create. If we tick the box on the left hand side, that would have opened up our purchase order for us, but if you're generating 20 purchase orders, you wouldn't want to tick that box on the left hand side because then it would try to open up a lot of works orders or purchase orders. So 404. So if I just go and minimize this, go to the purchase order processing, purchase order list, and if I just auto refresh, double click onto my purchase order, and you can see it's added the lines to my purchase order. If I just go and edit the item, we can see the date requested has been placed there.